Last week on 11 Fates, dun, 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 we get to see the first installment of a duel between Brutus and Caecilian Diedrove. Brutus took a few lumps, but it was quickly decided in Brutus's favor. During the duel, we also got to meet a dwarf on a donkey, the smith known as Alanna Pritchel.
Yeah.
Tea was brewed and cookies were put in the oven to host our traveler. An exchange of knowledge would unfold before and after a long-needed long rest. It was 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and most of them had been awake for over 36 hours. And I forgot what was said before going to sleep and what was said after, so I lumped it into one big section. The cabbage cactus may grow near fallen scale. Hunted Jewel's very concerned about this cabbage cactus, as it could potentially cure his elder. Soul slinks have never been caught before. They just kind of appear. And Dusty had not intentionally poisoned anyone. He was just reaching for a box that happened to have a venomous spirit in it known as a soul slink. So he ran away. A potentially world-shaping smith process is underway. Volcanic ore can be refined up to 3 times, each adding a new property, but the third refinement is still unknown at this point, and Alanna Pritchel and Rowena Smythe are both very intrigued on this process. Dusty is having night terrors after being bitten and cured from his disease. Cass dreamt of Brutus riding off down the road, almost winking towards his vantage point when he finally fell to sleep. Rowena dreamt of Alanna's past works, all fine crafted projects made with care and trust. And Hunted Jewel dreamt of a long-forgotten relative clad in gold armor, and he asked if he could join Jules on his travels. But he seemed to be very confused or concerned at the mention of gods. Then consciousness came swiftly to everyone when Jules stirred for a crisis of clarification from his dreams. The mounts were eventually readied in the wee hours of the evening, and after getting a few things in order, everyone set off to Aria to deliver Dusty home and potentially get a hold of more ore for experimentation. But a simple ride is not what one gets in the middle of the night. As the group passed the edge of the forest, just off the road, a glowing figure made of beautiful stars beckoned for young Dusty to head to the woods. The group would manage to control Dusty and the steeds, and to begin the ride past as we come to know what was the Starfall. A local boogeyman story was actually real and now in pursuit. Caecilian would dismount his horse carrying young Dusty as everyone rode off in order to make an attack on this now 2-dimensional star creature, and he hit it soundly. And 3 brightly colored rays of light burst off of it in random directions. Then they formed again, looped around, turned into a humanoid shape, hugged Caecilian, and both of them disappeared with a blink of light. And that's where we are going to rejoin our heroes. Friends, did I leave anything out? Anything else you want me to hammer home?
There was exploding corn.
That is right. One of the other treats that I did not mention
Very important.
was exploding corn.
And cabbage cactus is life.
I felt like I significantly hit cabbage cactus.
Yeah, I think that got plenty of emphasis.
It can never have too much.
Hunted Jewel, you want it to be cactus cabbage, or do you want cabbage cactus?
Let me see what I wrote for it.
Make me change my notes, not your notes.
Yeah. It's
cool.
Actually, I'm gonna be interchanging both of them. So
great. Love it. Perfect. I found the window I was looking for. So if that is all, let's get started. Welcome to 11 Fates.
But if I'm going to bargain, I'll take their lies and their secrets down with me.
A chosen champion of the gods.
Better remember the name Hunted Jewel, because the next time you see me, I'm going to be buying out the whole bar.
Welcome to the Tale of 11 Fates.
and welcome back. You join us at a exciting time in the middle of the night. It's probably 2:30, 3 in the morning, and we have 4 steeds with 4 riders out on an open road just past the woods on their way to a small village known as Aria, home of one young Dusty Broven. See, there used to be a 5th rider, and he suddenly disappeared. Burst of light from what everyone thought was a myth, a tale used to keep children in check. It's a still night. On the horizon are plenty of clouds, but a bright moon is still overhead. The night's calm, and I don't believe we got the chance to get the reactions of our compatriots here, as we had everyone see their ranger friend in his fancy green cloak disappear in a flash of light after throwing his sword through what should have been a myth.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck just happened? Is everyone else okay?
My horse is still going kind of fast, but yeah.
Keep it riding. Don't look back. Just keep going.
Where's Dusty right now? This is the player asking.
Yes, Dusty is on Brutus, Cassilian's horse, that he was gifted from Daybreak.
Yep.
And yeah, he is riding. I would say he's in the middle of the pack, so you're probably on one side. I'm gonna go with Alanna on the other, and at some point you did kind of steer his horse, so you would actually be in the front there, Rowena.
I was between the pack and the Starfall. I moved
Got
back.
it.
I was
because at some point
you
you needed to get him back on the road, and then everyone kind of galloped up, so at some point you passed and then was chasing. So yeah, if you fell back a bit, then you'd
I think I wheeled around because I've been keeping myself between where Dusty is and where the
yeah. So you always stayed in the center point. You didn't just get on road and then lead. Got it. So yeah, so he's technically in the front.
Yeah, HJ wants to ride up and just pull Dusty off of Brutus and onto Rental Horse. Look, Dusty, you're going to be a great horse rider one day, but right now you got to stick with me, kid.
Oh, this is a much bigger saddle. Yeah, no, I should have been on here the whole time.
Yeah, 100%. Can Rowena or Alanna, can you take care of Brutus?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, sure. My animal handling is so good. Is that a check?
Yes, it is. Go ahead and roll.
Good. Great. Awesome.
Yeah,
An 18.
Beautiful. Yeah, Brutus definitely freaks out a little bit as suddenly he doesn't kind of have a something on his back weighing him down, so he kind of prances left and right, trying to see over his own shoulder to see what happened. And then has that brief moment of oh, I could run. I'm not doing anything. This is my time.
No.
And just kind of looks at you, looks at your donkey, looks at you, and you're able to get the reins before he can make a decision.
That, just riding this shitty donkey, and there's this majestic horse. I got it.
Yeah, just this beautiful horse. Very well taken.
He's the
care
ugly
of.
horse. We've established that he is the ugly horse.
Yeah, but he's the ugly horse of a group of beautiful horses. That's the problem. He's the 8 out of the 10s.
Oh shit.
And compared to my busted donkey, he's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, he actually looks like an 8 next to a donkey. He looks like a 6 next to horses.
There we go.
I cannot wait for the spin-off all horse campaign.
Check our Patreon announcement coming soon.
But yes, you're able to get this riderless horse back under control, and he follows into the pace that everyone's settled in on. You all notice that you're not being chased anymore by a thing. It's hard to actually classify what it is you saw as what you saw you thought wasn't real.
Have any of you seen anything like that before?
It's supposed to be a myth.
Well, I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot of myths, but I've never seen one in front of my eyes before. I think that's a little bit more than myth, don't you?
Maybe so. I thought it was, something mothers made up to get their children to behave. I've seen a lot of magic in the last 3 days. More magic than I've ever seen before in my life, I think. Don't know how I feel about that.
Well, what should we do about our disappeared friend? Should we look? Do we think he might be in the woods? Is this sort of a different plane of existence sort of situation? It seems sort of unsportsmanlike to leave someone behind like this.
I don't want to speak for Master Diderot himself, but I get the impression that he's going to turn up again when he needs to. He seems like that sort of fella. Also, even if we don't see him before then, in about a month, that big ugly bastard with the shaved head is going to show up looking for him. So as long as we can keep an eye on wherever he turns up, we'll find Master Diderot.
Yeah, because they like know where each other's where they are. They can just like find each other. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great. I think we got to get the boy out of here.
Yeah.
We can come back. We can look for him elsewhere, but we can't keep Dusty with us. Not safe.
We need to get the kid off the road. I think that's going to be the priority. Should we just head into town?
Wait, no. Gotta keep moving forward. It's not worth it to go back.
Yeah, I guess next stop Aria, right?
Yeah.
I would still like to go home, but I also would like to help if I can. I know that the thing seemed to beckon us. I guess in hindsight, maybe he wasn't trying to call me over. Maybe he was trying to call over Cillian?
Dusty, the most help that you could possibly do for us right now is just being safe at home with your family.
That sounds nice. Yeah, I think that, yeah, okay. Just about another 2 hours at this pace.
May the roads be favorable and the fates look upon us.
And it's a bit of a strange ride. You have an extra horse that you'll probably hand off between the two single riders, just to keep your arms from falling asleep in some strained position, things like that. Passing the horse back and forth, but it's a pretty calm night. And as you get to the outskirts of Aria, it's about 5:30 in the morning. At this point, a little bit slower to get here than expected, but it could also just be that your mounts went a bit slower, and kind of as you come into town, you actually pass another traveler on their way in, holding a lantern and in a traveling cloak. A woman about 5'10", human, light blonde hair. Gives you kind of a wave and steps off the road for you to clear.
Do I recognize her at all?
Can't say that you do.
How far outside of town are we when we encounter her?
Oh, she's maybe like 50 yards outside of town. She's essentially nearing the end of her travels as well.
Gotcha. Rowena is just super wary of everything right now, given everything that's happened. So she'll kind of slow up, maybe wave HJ to kind of go ahead and continue. But she'll kind of slow up and just kind of, hello, you want to ride for the last few feet? Point to the extra horse.
Oh, yes, I would certainly love that. Give these feet a little bit of a rest. Don't get out for these long walks anymore.
Well, a person as stylish and bewearied as thee, I just you look like you might be wanting a donkey more than a horse. Just lower to the ground. It's less effort. It would be a shit. I would hate to make you ride this terrible horse. Look at that. This
pretty
ugly,
shitty horse.
ugly.
He's named after a pretty ugly guy.
I would happily accept the donkey.
Great. Can I swap?
Yeah, you absolutely swap. You can definitely just like stand up on your donkey and then like just get up over to the other mount that you were holding on to. Already have the reins.
I can't believe you just cast your donkey away so easily.
Wait, well, I didn't know there were such sexy horses about in this town, so it's lesson learned. I thought the donkey was as good as I was ever going to get.
I'm sorry, did I hear that correctly? Sexy horses?
I mean, you look at this horse and you tell me this horse is not at least like a 6 out of 10. So listen, I'm just saying, objectively, very sexy horse.
I don't get out much.
Neither do we.
We should chat. Can I buy you all around?
That would be amazing. I know a place that'll serve us alcohol at any time of day. And also will give you a real good room if you need a place to stay. Have you ever been to Aria before?
I have a long time ago. The Kettle Inn still stands?
Indeed, that was in fact what I was gonna recommend.
Good to hear. Love the Lloyds. Yeah, after you, and we'll like come up to the donkey and like very awkwardly get up on top, and then like kind of like settle in and look for the reins.
Oh no, you don't need him. Just sort of just tell him. His name's Steve. Just tell him where he wants to. Just sort of point in a direction. He's just very perceptive. He'll be fine.
Steve. Yup. And Steve just
runs into a wall.
Clonk, clonk, clonk,
Rowena will absolutely make sure that she is sort of in the back of the group so that she can keep an eye on everyone. She is in full, like, watchful mom mode at this point because I can never not be the mom friend.
Please forgive me. I'm your friend Courtney. If you need me, and if may I be so inclined as to ask your names?
Oh, I'm Alanna.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, Rowena?
Jules.
Pleasure. What a merry band you have. And the young one? Oh, Dusty. I'm sorry. I just so sleepy. That's okay, Dusty. It's quite early.
Can I roll a insight check on Courtney?
Yes. Please roll an insight on your friend Courtney.
Is that like a title? Have I heard this phrasing before? Is this like a particular form of address?
My friend
or something?
Courtney.
Yeah.
That was an 11.
Great. And go ahead and roll an intelligence for if friend is a title.
I know where that button is. Haha.
Got a 15.
That is also an 11.
15. You've heard of friend being used as kind of a title, but it's an old, like, casual way. Eventually, it kind of gave way to like sir, ma'am, your sire, your majesty. Like it just kept getting upgraded, and so it's just kind of like an old soul type of greeting.
Got it.
Yeah.
But it's not like oh, you're a Quaker or something specifically.
Yeah, okay. No, it's just something that kind of went out of style at some point. It's like, oh, I think my grandma used to say that. Like, oh.
This woman definitely reads as human.
Definitely reads as human. Probably mid-30s.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And you said you got an 11 on insight.
Yeah.
It seems honest and forthcoming. The one thing that kind of struck you was you're not sure if they know what time it is, of it being either to call it early or late. And you're like,
Sure.
no, it's early. Like, sun's coming up sooner than when it's set.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I would love to buy a round for this even short stint, if you don't mind if I ask you a few questions. Very interested in your relationship with these beasts of burden.
You can ask any questions you like, but there's no guarantee we're going to answer. I think that's only fair, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. That's that's part of a ask rather than a demand. Is you have a choice.
Well then,
All right.
I love questions.
you want to start now, or shall we settle in first?
I think we can settle in. It seems like you all have business to take care of. I don't want to distract if there's other errands you need to tend to, but I don't mind meeting you at the inn.
Sounds perfect. We'll see you there in maybe an hour or so.
Looking forward to it. What brings you out at this hour, though?
But we need to return the boy home. As you can see, he's very tired. Needs to catch up on his sleep.
Riding through the night, it's an interesting way to travel.
Wait,
Do you do it often?
I do it when necessary. Just one of those things of needing to conduct some research and really just get to civilization. Aria's the closest for me.
What kind of research?
First math. I'm looking for a book. I'm looking for some resources. Really just checking in. Society continues to move, whether I want it to or not. And local tales are always fun treat. I live in a quite isolated part of the world.
What sort of local tales are you interested in? Because I'm something of a local tale historian myself. I'm sure there's a word for that.
Recent events, really. Do either of you have a pen, a quill and paper by chance? Scrap would be fine, or anything you don't mind. Notes being taken on.
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's anything like... Is she wearing anything weird? Are there like symbols or like things or stuff, like weird looking stuff?
You go for it.
and I know we already got one, but may I roll an insight check now?
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, this is real different stuff.
Now I've got FOMO. Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Also,
Everyone get in here.
I got a 10. Apparently, we're just doing 10s and 11s today. I refresh you, D&D Beyond. Take that.
Mm.
Ha
Go to dice jail. I got a 23 insight.
I got a
Nice.
5. That's
Thick.
that's on brand for me.
Yeah,
You're also
and
tired.
You wanted the insight. Jules, you think this woman is just kind of tired and is maybe a little loopy? If she's been walking through the night and lives remotely, like
Yeah, I've been there.
that kind
I've
of
been there.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you 10 hours ago.
Exactly.
Our 10 on you wanted perception to kind of judge
You
her
like
clothing.
wearing anything weird or anything?
Nothing overly bizarre. It's definitely kind of like an oversized shirt. Doesn't really show off her form or anything like that. She does have like a leather belt with like some pouches and things. I think that really only the thing that kind of stands out is it's red leather.
Okay.
Like it's like that's either nicer or just stranger than you've seen. But yeah, it's just kind of all in red leather. She's got a gray traveling cloak. Emits off some light for night traveling, but this is kind of good if you do need to hide on the roads. Hair seems pretty kept. Seems pretty put together as far as a traveler goes.
Cool. Yeah,
And then we have one more roll to get to. That was a 23 on insight.
Yeah, it was.
This behavior does definitely seem strange, but it seems earnest. Like it definitely seems like they have lots of things that they're trying to like balance in their brain. The math comment strikes you to be a bit bizarre, especially if it's math that requires pen and paper to solve.
Alanna will reach into her bag and she'll get out like just like a scrap couple of piece of paper and she'll say, "I'm sorry, ink and quill is just far too messy for the road, but like would a stick of charcoal do?"
I don't mind writing larger. Yeah, that would be fine.
All right, and so she'll here.
Yeah, and she like yups the donkey to get it up a little bit faster to actually get next to you. You realize that it's a lot less bouncy on this horse with their longer legs, so it's not working as hard. And you're like, oh yeah, the Cadillac mounts right here. And yeah, we'll very hastily start just like sketching out like all these numbers on a pad and basically just doing big long multiplication, and then like does some like light division and things like that, and then just kind of folds up the piece of paper and hands the piece of charcoal back to you. Appreciate it. And to answer your earlier question, just local events, current happenings, anything that happened 3 days ago, between like 11:30 and 1.
That's a very specific type of local lore.
I just there's anomalies. I study the stars quite often, actually, and so just certain tracks of the day, any sort of celestial events may have taken place, or
The Festival of Light.
Okay.
You're familiar?
When
the fates come to cast the stones amongst the mortals.
Right. Yeah, that's been going on for a while. Like, how long?
About 60 years.
That's right, because it was after
The God of the Grave.
I'm sorry.
the God of the Grave. Yeah.
Courtney.
Yes.
Question for you.
Yes, Alanna.
We're all a bit tired, and we're all a bit, sort of, like when you've been traveling for a while and you just can't remember, like, what day it is, like what town you're in. What year is it? Can you remind me, like, what year do you think it is?
That's all the time.
Like, but specifically you, friend Courtney, what year do you think it is?
I am offended by that question.
Can I cast Charm Person?
You absolutely can. And kind of like while you get kind of like the hand motions and like the tapping that you need to do to get that bardic rhythm to get that spell off, she does answer 1310.
Okay.
What year is it right now?
It is.
It is actually
10.
Is it not? Did I tell you guys something else? What year do you guys think it is? Because actually, point of order, this is supposed to be the correct answer, and I have written down the year probably 4 different ways in 4 different places.
Okay.
So I forgot.
That is not the year that I have written down, so I might be wrong.
Cool. We might have to review episode 1 to get this official.
I don't have a specific
I will insert
year.
sound clip. It should be 60 years after the God of the Grave, who showed up in 1250, so it should be 1310.
Okay.
Also, if she gave up the year, I'm not gonna waste Charm Person on her then.
Just with like your interactions with her so far, and like the checking out the clothes, checking out thing, like this series of bits does seem to like catch her off guard. And you definitely saw her doing some math on her fingers while she was like, I am offended that you would ask this question. The year is 1310, which is not a normal way to say the year either.
But
like the year is, it is correct, but like 1310 is not really how those of you who are from here say these things.
But does it sound like the way someone might say it if they were just told it was 60 years since the last Fade appeared and they were quickly doing the math in their head to figure out what year that would be?
Yes.
Right.
Noted.
Rowena at this point is gonna ride up a little bit past and like ride up to where HJ is. Be like, Jules, I need you to just take Dusty home. Take him home right now. There's something going on here. We need to get him out of here.
Yeah, look, I'm going to take him home, and look, you go to the bar. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And HJ is going to just, like, whip the reins on the horse and get Dusty the fuck out of there.
Not about this.
Yeah.
Anna like looks at Rowena's just like sus.
Yeah, no. Rowena just kind of like gives her the like deep nod, like,
I'm sorry. Did I get the question wrong?
Do you think you got the question wrong? What do you think,
No,
Courtney?
I'm quite certain of the year, Alanna.
Well, this is it's wonderful, isn't it? Traveling sort of thing. Where are you traveling from, Courtney?
I have a home in the woods, just east of Bastellan.
Oh yeah?
do you?
It's at the edge of the woods, more towards the hills. The crazed trolls don't tend to bother me over there.
Oh, you hate a crazed troll. Like the calm ones, they're not bad, but the crazed ones.
Do you not know of Troll Hill just to the north?
Oh no, I'm a traveler just like you, not from these lands.
Sorry, east of Bastellan or east of Aria?
I'm from east of Bastellan, and I believe we are entering the west side of Aria, and thus the Troll Hills are to our north. Are you unfamiliar with geography?
No, I'm just triangulating is all.
The night can be disorienting.
We've been on horses for nearly 2 days straight, so, you know.
A drink is in order, then.
Hey, Rowena, I'm having a terrible time here with Cadillac Bruce. Do you mind stepping off to the side and helping me with this thing that is broken? Thank you. All right.
That shoe that he threw, huh?
Look at it. It's just you hate to see it. It's terrible.
Yeah, pull
anyway,
over, I'll take a look.
Anyway, Courtney, maybe just wait right there for us for a second, all right?
Here, or should I meet you at the inn? It is, just 20 yards away now. We have been traveling.
You know, we'll meet you at the door, like I said, in an hour.
I'll see you in the hour. And we'll go ahead and get the donkey to trot away and doesn't look back and
we're just fully doing
heads
the
off
stare
around
after her.
Right.
Yep.
Episode of West Wing was just walk and talk the whole time.
Rhoda will pull up right next to you though and just be like, all right, so is she mad or is she hiding something or maybe a bit of both?
Well, it's the location for me, really. She talked a lot about local lore, and I've heard some rumors about the woods east of Bastellan. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. People who go in there don't come back out.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it though is that I've heard that it's some sort of like spirit or like a elemental type, and I'm sort of wondering. She doesn't know what year it is, and she seems to have fondness for trolls. Like, do you think that maybe this is?
I'm getting a little worried. You know a bit more of the specifics than I do. I grew up in Bastellan, in and around, and it was always just a don't go there. You'll get whisked away to the other planes or something.
Well, here's
too specific.
All right, Rowena, I'm gonna be real honest with you for a second. After I had to drop out of school, maybe I ran into some sorts of some money problems, and well, a girl like me with a build like this, one of the best ways to sort of recoup cash in a quick way is a collecting bounties, and I've been chasing a bounty for a while for a rogue sort of elemental type east of the woods of Bestellin, who's been kidnapping travelers and that sort of thing. And I'm sort of wondering, it seems weird that she might like wander in here, but I mean, stranger things have happened in the woods tonight. So
Things have happened in the last 24 hours. Yeah. All right.
Problem is that I'm not quite sure how to suss out an elemental from just a nutter, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the last elemental we dealt with, we, stabbed our guide. Jules brought it back to life or some shit, and then Cassilian and I wailed on him, and Jules grabbed him by the frozen nards and popped him in half, so...
Alright, I have at least 12 questions. We'll get to them later.
Yeah, things that definitely pop in your mind, because you don't have much experience with elementals, or
Just the one in the
people
sewer.
coming back from the dead.
Also that.
Yep.
Yeah, big red flag when that gets said. You've never heard of anyone being revived, reincarnated.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to start with us, but I'm just saying it's just funny that she mentioned that, sort of specific location, because that's exactly what my bounty said. And so,
It's also,
I don't know, I have a funny way of attracting trouble wherever I go, so I just thought I'd mention it. But
It also seems an odd bit of convenient that she shows up coming from the woods east of Bestellin right after we've just fled from there and lost one of our companions to a creature that's supposed to only live at the edge of the woods.
Do you fancy a drink?
So many. I don't mean to be abrupt, but I do need to ask you one other rather important question, if you don't
course.
mind. Who put out the bounty?
Oh, definitely. Who was it? It was a part of the Adventurers Guild. Sort of winky face.
Right. Out of Bestellin or somewhere else?
Aye.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, you're looking for an elemental. That's good. That's fine.
Among others, she sort of Alanna like pats her bag and she says, "There's a fair list of others. I might have maybe bitten off a wee bit more than I can chew, but gold is gold, and I need a lot of it."
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good. I mean, I'm very familiar with folk in Bestellin, so maybe I'll take a look at those for you once we deal with this and see if I can help point you in the right direction.
That'd be great. All right. Well, do you want to?
We should go make sure that Jules has been able to deliver Dusty. Maybe we can get some more of those rocks for you.
That'd be fantastic.
Fades off over to the Broven place, where our intrepid Hunt Jewel rides up with Dusty. Outside the Broven place, there's actually still a light on, and as you approach, Dusty's father does open up the door and peeks his head out. Big dark bags under his eyes. Looks like he hasn't slept since you guys have left.
Got some pretty bad news.
Oh, and you just see all the rest of the color that was like there just kind of fades out.
Oh no, it was about somebody else in town. Dusty is fine.
Oh, thank God. And like he just comes up and like just grabs Dusty by the hips and like gets him off the horse and is just there like hugging him next to it.
Oh.
And he'll just put it down and put him down and like give him a stern thing. He's like, go inside. You need some rest. And he just like gives his head a nod and he like tousles his hair and pushes him off inside. You should lead with good news, son.
Oh, right. Sorry. I just was thinking about the weird lady that came into town. But hey, look, Dusty is a good kid. And I don't think that he meant to do... He didn't mean to do any of that. Don't let the villagers tell you otherwise.
I appreciate that. I still believe my son has a kind heart and soul. I just also know he's very short-sighted and doesn't tend to think things through. Thank you. Please, in the morning, if your friends are available, please come by. I'd love to host you for a meal. A token of our appreciation, I think, is more than due. Anything we can do for you, I'm just happy to see my boy safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow morning you can answer a couple of questions I have, but I won't bother them with you now. Look, I'm parched, and hope Dusty is gonna be he's a good kid, and hopefully a couple of days with the champions of the gods will set him straight.
I sure hope so, and thank you again. And he reaches his hand out for a handshake and
give him a nice firm one.
It's means a lot. I'll see you in the morning, anytime after 10, and we'll be ready to host you.
All right, we'll see you then. Have the bacon ready.
Cheers. Absolutely. And yeah, it seems like he smiled for the first time in a few days, and he likes the feel of it, and he kind of turns on his heels and heads in and blows out what light is inside. And yeah, you're able to kind of turn around. It's definitely a quiet night. You get kind of just that nice chill through the air, and it's one of those spring winds that comes in. It's a little bit before summer and it feels cold, and then just for a moment you've got that nice little warm breeze and it quickly goes away. It's nice knowing that seasons will change soon enough.
I want to start strolling back over to the bar.
Sure thing. And I think that's when we fade and y'all can kind of round the corner around the same time of getting your horses in the stable. The donkey is already there in the stable, nice and tidied up. A nice little hay bale has been set up in front of it. He's just chomping away.
Alanna goes over to Steve and she says, I just want you to know it was all a ruse. I love you more than life itself, Steve.
Aww.
That's right.
Just this super loud, like, donkey screech goes through this quiet night.
Give a little screechy scratch, head of the bar.
And
Just gonna post up Farrier and be like, please keep an eye on the rest of them. Make sure they don't get into trouble. You don't have to do anything about it, just like keep an eye out. Just say like you understand. Pat, pat, pat.
It does like that like lip curl he tends to do when it seems he's got a positive reaction to something. The same thing that happens whenever you bust out the carrots.
hey, that woman back there, she was weird, right? That was like,
Oh no, she was like super weird.
okay, good. Yeah, and Dusty's back. We got a date with them after 10 o'clock. They're gonna have bacon, and I think they're gonna have that sword for you, Rowena.
Oh, I entirely forgot about that. I was gonna say no, but I think after everything I've seen, maybe I'll take them up on it if they're still offering. Hate to take advantage of people, but it's been sort of a night.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, let's go get a couple drinks. I'll buy the first round. Well, no, wait. She's buying the first round. I'll buy the second round.
No. The weird lady's gonna buy us as many rounds as we can get out of her before we have to do something untoward.
That sounds great.
And yeah, that's when kind of the door gets pushed on open as you've all made your way, and you've got Butch behind the bar, kind of just shining a glass that looks like he's been shining it the last 10-15 minutes, and he's just got kind of a weird look on his face over to the one table that has a woman at it, like in the center of the inn area, and there's a couple of seats pulled around, and there's 4 frothy pints there, and some pewter glasses for you. Pewter goblets. I guess you can't call it a glass if it's not made out of glass. But yeah,
Tankards, goblets, any of the above.
Yeah. And yeah, he's Butch has got one of those like nicer like stemware glasses that he seems to like shining, and he's just going to town on it with kind of a cockeyed look at the back of the head of the old lady, or not the old lady, it's just the woman. He's
The old
clearly
lady
older.
who is my age.
Yeah, he's just got kind of a bit of a face on him.
As we bust in, HJ just goes, Master Lloyd, the champions returneth.
Yes. Yes. It's good. It's good to see you. Come here. And he like comes around the bar to like give you a hug, Jewel, and but like doesn't approach like he has approached you in the past. So he's like at the edge of the bar for you to like come up to.
Yep.
And gives you a hug.
Come on up.
Do you know this woman?
Well, we met her and gave her a ride on into town. Rowena and Alanna can tell you a little bit more. I went and delivered Dusty, who is safe, by the way.
Your projection is quite good.
Yeah, I
don't
you're
believe
not the
we've
first one
met,
to tell me.
and he reaches out his hand to you, Alanna.
Oh, Alana's like weirdly shy in this moment. Like Alana's like an outdoorsy type, and she's like, oh god, they're like regulars, and I'm gonna like do the wrong thing, and I'm gonna say the wrong, and so she's sort of like, but like too formally and like too weirdly, and she's just like, hello.
He makes it real quick, squeeze and let go, and like whips his hand back too.
Oh,
pleasure. You're welcome here. If you're friends with these, they've been quite helpful to the family, and I'd happy to host you.
thank you. It's an honor to be in your fine establishment, my lord. And she bows like too much, too many bows.
I appreciate it. It's not necessary, but I am. It warms the heart.
And Alana just like looks around. She's like, "Oh God, I did it again. Should we? Do you want to have a seat with our new friend?"
There's an open tab with your names on it. So,
Right.
if you
We're probably
need
gonna
anything, I'll
be taking advantage of that.
be here. Please do.
Wait, Master Lloyd, why do you find her weird? And HJ is like pointedly speaking, very quiet now.
She called me Bart.
Do you have a brother?
I have a grandfather named Bart.
Rowan immediately looks at Alanna just with the eyes like,
Alana's like,
my dad always said I looked like the spitting image of him once I grew up and before he passed. But he passed when I was just a wee lad, and we live quite long. I mean, he's been gone 40 years. And if he was my age when she saw her, that means it's been about 70 years. I don't know. Could have just been a slip of the mind. Maybe I've seen her before, but she's vaguely familiar, but I can't put a finger on it.
I think we're going to be the ones putting fingers on things, so don't worry about it. If we start a fight, we'll try to do it outside.
I'll leave you be.
And her money's good, right?
Yeah, she can buy whatever she likes.
All right, that's what matters.
what happened to the piece of paper that she wrote stuff down on?
She folded it and kept it, and she handed you back the charcoal.
Okay, all right.
Rowena is gonna head over to the table and she's gonna try to kind of catch Jules' eye and sort of like nod for him to flank our friend Courtney.
Please, yes, take a seat. I hope you like mead. It's a personal favorite of mine.
It's always been a bit fancy for my taste, but I'll try anything once.
Little sweet, little savory.
I had an ex like that.
Alanna laughs, but too loud.
Yes. I also want to extend an apology. I live alone in quite remote areas, and I do math odd. The reason for the math, and she takes her folded out paper and puts it down. It's gonna sound strange. I tinker, and I have a clock that doesn't work like other clocks. And so when I kind of reassess, it's more for charting position throughout the stars than it is for telling time. And so there's just a bit of a conversion. I really should just buy 2 clocks.
Alana's eyes light up, and she just straight into the backpack, no hesitation, dumps it on the table, finds the biggest, openest notebook she's got. She's like, "Can you do a schematic right now for it? I would love to know more about all of this. What? Okay, all right. Just keep. More. Time. Clock. Go."
It's short. It's loud. I actually wouldn't wish it upon anyone else, but it serves its functions.
And it charts the positions of the stars?
No, it helps me reminders to track stars and timers and length of day more so than actual time of day. It's hard to explain, but it helps my studies, and pulls out a booklet from within her traveling cloak and flips it over. For instance, there's a new star I've actually been tracking, and just holds up, and in very tiny, elegant writing is just number calculations and trackings, and just looks like a mad person, really, just with numbers, but they are full-on equations and chartings and things like that. So I've just been trying to keep up, and I don't get clear nights, but even with the fog and the clouds, sometimes I'm still able to see it, and there's just some calculations to try and triangulate, as one of you mentioned.
And this star came into existence 3 days ago from 11:30 to 1. It's very specific.
A celestial body got larger at that time.
Celestial body?
I'm not... It's not a star, but it is very far off. I don't have the means to view it properly.
What do you need?
In general, or just for the star? Because I was hoping to
we'll take
procure
both
some
at
air.
this point, honestly.
That's great. I see you're an adventurer from those fine markings there, Alanna. And you remember you have those stupid badges you got when you first got into the guild.
Yeah.
There's 3 things actually. In ease of order, a bag of sand, soot, dirt, really any fine particulate would work. 2, if possible, advanced Elvish language learner's book would actually be quite useful, trying to learn a bit more Elvish for a coordination project. Damned cohort mumbles a lot Elvish, quite old. Would really like to know what he's actually murmuring about. And 3rd, this one would be fine, but the price would be worth it. I believe they're called Eco? An elemental control orb.
What would you be needing one of those for then?
Always been a point of study. Always looking to learn the really just a fascination of its properties.
And how did you come to know about those? Because to be perfectly honest, I grew up in a big city. I've never heard of them until about 3 days ago, between 11:30 and 1.
Oh, that's quite the coincidence.
Isn't it though?
No, I've actually known of them for some time. There's actually large versions of them in all the major cities. A lot of them have just been built around, integrated. I believe up north they have one that's built into a statue. I believe in the east, I believe it's the basis of a clock tower, bell tower. Could be both. Clock tower. And I believe into the west, it's just something in, a big chamber that the guilds like to look at, the oligarch like to stare at when conducting business. So those are the massive ones. I'm just looking for a small one. I believe they were a gift of the gods 700-800 years ago.
Point of order. What happened to the one that we had when we were down in the sewers? Did we have one?
You did not have one. They were built into the
built into
doors.
the doors,
Welded into the doors and acted more as a barrier to keep
Gotcha.
the elemental in the sewers.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You'll pardon me for asking, but
Please.
sand isn't like that hard to come by, is it?
Oh,
like,
no, it's just the finer the quality, the better. In like just the coarseness would be good. I don't live near a beach. I've heard of beaches far off could potentially have them. I've also heard smiths might use them. If there's a glass blower nearby, they would have plenty. Really, I do want it for glass.
You're making glass then.
Yeah, if I could have a stronger optics, if you get glass at the right curvature, it can help magnify visions, and it would help me view these celestial bodies I'm trying to study.
Oh, you want to make a lens?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a lens.
Right.
You live near Bastelin. Why haven't you just gone to the guildmasters there?
It's the big city vibes. I really just... I feel like someone would take advantage of me if I went there.
Maybe she's not as mad as she seems.
Hey,
Eh?
Good point. Oh, I have so many questions. I don't know.
Yes, youngin.
Yeah, the tower north of Bastelin. Do you know of it?
Griffin's Roost. Yes, I do.
Yeah, how tall's that thing?
I don't think anyone's bothered to measure it. It crumbled ages ago.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a little under 6 feet. It's probably at least 12 times as big as me. 70 feet. Have you been? It's eerie. I genuinely don't like it there.
No, people have just told me about it.
Rowena is gonna kind of glance at her and is going to say in Elvish, and who is it that you're trying to understand better with the Elven language?
I'm sorry. Could you speak slower? I'm still learning.
She'll repeat it again, but a little more slowly, and trying to flatten out her accent to make it more intelligible.
It is my cohort, I think, is what you're asking me who I want to communicate with. Is that just
Switching back to common?
Yeah.
Yes. Your cohort, like, is that like a whole group or just like a single individual?
Single individual. You roll those dice, Seth.
Oh, we're rolling crits left and
Every
right. What's up,
time.
Murphalurf? How you doing, homie? Welcome on in, y'all. If you haven't gone and followed Murphalurf, give him a follow, why don't you? What are you doing? And if it's your first time here, welcome to the Torpid Gaming Network. We're a variety channel, and on Tuesdays, we stream D&D. It's an original campaign. It's called 11 Fates. We're shooting the shit in a bar with a woman from the past. but not that
Yes.
far in the past.
Sketch. Sketch woman.
She's definitely sketch though.
Sketch.
Yes, you join us in a bar talking with a super sketchy woman. This is 11 Fates, an original 5e D&D campaign where the gods are real, and they walk among us. They are the 11
Kind
Fates.
of assholes.
They're weird. I have 11 distinct personalities for them. I'm so excited for you to get to know them. Yes, welcome. We are in the Kettle Inn, having some mead with this strange lady. And this lady was just asked a question in Elvish, which she has admitted she's trying to learn, and she seems to only grasp the basics, but slowly. But yes, I know my friend who mumbles in his Elvish is helpful, but old and tends to just ramble. And so if I feel like I could understand him a bit better in his native language, we'd have just an easier way of
So your
communication.
friend is of elven kind then? He's an elf?
Yes.
That was a bit of a hesitation. Was that because you weren't sure? Or?
He is not pure elf,
So he's a
but has
half
spent
elf?
many half elf.
How old is he?
Oh, older than I am.
How old are you, if I may ask? Just amongst friends, you know. You are our old friend now, aren't you, Courtney?
I am 36.
Now, Courtney, I want you to know that, like, I look quite good for my age, but I do want you to know that I'm 650. It's very hard for me to believe that you, Courtney, are 36.
I do feel like I am more learned than my age may appear. And you are quite dashing for a 650-year-old dwarf.
Thank you.
You do
I
look very good
use
for
a
your
lot of
age, Alanna.
sunscreen.
Yeah, for someone who's lived 65% of their life, you look good.
But no, that was unnecessary.
It's fact.
Just because it's fact doesn't mean you need to be pointing it out. We've got other facts we'd be more interested in hearing from you, to be perfectly honest. Like what exactly you're doing here?
Again, gathering information, and came with a few requests. Sand, a book on Elvish, and hopefully a eco, if at all possible. And I am interested in you lot. You seem to have some sort of connection to a few days ago around noon. As you have alluded, you've learnt many a fact. You also all have that look on your face like something's missing.
You might say that.
You, and points over at Alanna, you seem to have this other agenda. You're excited, maybe a bit of a breakthrough, and you, the furry fellow, you seem eager to be somewhere else. It feels like you're going in the wrong direction. And Rowena, was it? The one with so many questions? You have this feeling like you're in grief. So yes,
Who are
I'm
you?
also very interested in all of you. I am your friend, Courtney.
You're not my friend.
I am a friend. I would just like to get my things and be on my way.
Oh, it seems, friend Courtney, I don't want to say it sounds strange, but I can't imagine why you would just wander up to a group of, strangers.
You technically approached me. I gave you the way of the road. I was headed here no matter if you were traveling or not.
All right, I'll give you that one, but my point still stands, which is that, it seems awfully funny that you just sort of gather a group of strangers and ask them to help you finish your science fair project, Courtney. So,
Is that not what members of the Adventuring Guild do? If you are one, I assume these two may also be, though they don't wear the marks.
I mean, we do, but it needs to be worth our while. And we need to know that the person that we're venturing for is on the up and up.
Okay.
So openly hostile, Courtney.
So, now that negotiations have gone more tit for tat, how would you like your friend in the green cloak back?
You know where he is then?
Technically, no, but I can return him.
Oh, no, that's going to be an interesting trick to turn a man that you don't know where he's got to.
I'm familiar with it. I don't know where it is. That is why I need these things post haste. So if you can acquire the eco for me in, let's say, 7 days, your friend can be returned.
So, were you just watching that all happen?
Technically, yes.
Oh, you did it.
Also, technically, yes.
What the fuck?
It would take me longer than 7 days to properly explain.
Let's maybe go with a quicker one that maybe you can explain faster. What the fuck are you?
I am a wizard. I have these lands for quite some time, and about 1600 years ago, I found myself in a pocket dimension. And I've been trying to get out. So what I did with your friend is swap places with them temporarily. If you'd like control over where they come back, I'd like that eco.
So have you been stealing children then for the last 1600 years too, or was that something else going on in the forest?
Technically, by the laws of these lands, yes, you could consider that kidnapping. However, they are always returned in better condition than I found them.
What does that mean?
Sounds maniacal. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm about this far away from just ending your sorry life. So
Right.
the only thing that's stopping me is the fact that I need to know where
Here's a
Master
question for you.
Dydrop is.
You seem to be from around these parts. You understand what the rumors have spread about the series of events that take place. Can you name one of the children that disappeared? Can you tell me the name of the family that had a disappearance? Probably not, because they come from literally nothing. Whereas you could probably tell me names of quite a few strangers who walked in out of town from their mid-20s to mid-30s with seemingly pockets full of treasures and started a brand new life because they didn't really know where they came from.
So, if you steal one of my younger siblings because we were poor and destitute, and then you drop them back in 20 years later with wealth, but no knowledge of their family, that's fine? Is that how that's supposed to work?
No, because it's never just the poor. It's the poor that are hiding or running. You don't, in a happy home, you don't go running off to the middle of the woods by yourself late at night looking for a friendly face.
You're despicable.
I do not like what I've been forced to do, and I'd like to end it. And I think getting my hands on an eco could possibly do that and help out many in the process. It would end these random disappearances outside of Pastellan.
And what would it start?
I could get my life back on track. My cohort could get back to whatever he's doing. Again, I don't speak Elvish. And I could get my clock fixed.
You can pick up the sand.
Anywhere. I'm not actually worried about that one. The book I could give or take.
That's the one that I can give you. I can tell you exactly where to get some. There's an
Great.
entire pile outside my forge. You're welcome to it. I'm not going back there anyway. Not if I can help it.
Your forge would be...
I'll give you the address. It's not hard to find. Maybe be careful if you spend too much time there. There's probably going to be some folks coming to knock looking for collections. Don't be around when they show up.
You seem to be favoring that shoulder. Is it to the west? Is it back at Bestellin?
Yes.
Yes, that won't do. I can't go to Bestellin.
Funny, neither can I.
Interesting. Anyway, again, sand would be nice. The need, though, is
yeah, I know, the eco. Right. Alanna, Jules, I think maybe we need to go have a discussion.
Yeah, agreed.
Would you like me to see myself out and give you the room? Would you like to part?
I think you should stay here. I'm sure Master Lloyd would be happy to bring you whatever else you need, and also make sure that he's got eyes on you while we go elsewhere to talk.
Delightful.
Sorry to be a little bit on edge, but, you know...
It's probably the appropriate reaction for these circumstances.
Yeah. You say you're a wizard.
Yes.
Do you do the kind of oogie boogie watching other people?
I can. I do not. It's ineffective where I spend most of my time, as well as typically is a one-way experience. I have found it is not the case while I'm here.
Ah, great. Well, shocking as this may sound, I'm going to take you on your word of honor that you're going to let us have our conversations in private.
Oh, I would... The last thing I would do is spy on you for the repercussions that others would have.
And Jewel just busts up laughing at that.
Something you know that I don't?
I know plenty that you don't, but just... where I come from, we don't steal people's friends and then use that as leverage.
Oh, okay. Maybe your ilk has changed.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, you have a discussion to get to.
Right. Master Lloyd, we're gonna be stepping out to the back. If this will
you are to watch me like a hawk.
Yes, please just holler.
Take...
Master Lloyd, I will take that roast when you have a chance. Not until they get back, of course.
Can I take her math page, like the one that she wrote all the shit down on?
You can just snatch that right off the desk.
Take it.
Right off the table.
I'm going to be keeping this for safekeeping.
Good. Hello.
Hey, Raynard. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Torpid Gaming Network. We're a variety channel. On Tuesdays, we play Dungeons and Dragons. It's an original 5e campaign called 11 Fates. We write it ourselves. Welcome on in. Give them a follow if you haven't.
We're about to punch a lady so hard. We're so mad at her.
It's fine. Yeah, no, some lady just admitted to abducting their friend from last week. We should have a fourth player here. They're not.
Now it's a plot point.
And yeah, they're here trying to strike up a bargain for the exchange of their friend. So weird things are happening. But yeah, she's asked for her roast. She's also alerted the barkeep and Lord of the Manor to keep an eye on her as well. Enjoy your talk. I'll wait for my roast, and
I'm gonna reach over and I'll just snatch the math age. No, I'll be keeping this for later or for safekeeping. I'm just shoving it in one of my pockets.
Oh, and don't think I can't do math within, 60 units. It's just a matter of, give or take of the anomaly that I witnessed in lining, plus or minus differentials in order to actually keep an accurate guess. So please check it if you desire.
I'll keep that in mind.
Please do.
I'm gonna steps out with them.
I'm gonna pass by Butch, and as I do, I'm just gonna hiss under my breath, "Please spit in her drink if you get the chance."
Question for you both. Is there an adventurers guild in town around here?
I don't know that there's like a station here in Aria. There would be one in Daybreak.
Yeah, just the big cities.
Okay.
We have travelers and other adventurers come through occasionally. The travelers meet up, share potential bounties, and go out together. But that's about it.
That was my only plan. All right.
No, it was a good plan. Master Lloyd, sorry, sidebar, but important question. Have you seen another dwarf pass through in the last month or so? Other than Pritchel here?
Yeah, last month, about a week ago, had a old friend actually come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You act like you might know him. G, big, broad fellow, lots of tattoos. Doesn't seem as intimidating of the reputation he's earned.
It's probably not related to this. I just wanted to make sure I was keeping my timeline straight since we're apparently doing a lot of math today.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, if he should pass through again before we do, please tell him from me that I'm watching his back and not in the good way. He'll know.
I will let him know when he comes through.
So what do you all think?
I assume we're outside at this point.
Yeah, you can head outside.
Yeah.
You could head upstairs,
Yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you think is the most secure.
I want to
somewhere
go out
private.
because I don't want to be
Yeah.
anywhere near where Laura and Mac might be or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they would be upstairs. Butch does offer you the kitchen in the back if you like.
I'd go fully out back at the inn, I think. Be outside.
Great. Yeah, you make sure to position yourself on the opposite of where the table was, and
Yeah.
it's a quiet night. You can hear an owl off in the distance. You're all clad in moonlight.
But 6 a.m. at this point?
Yeah, so there's that the faint lights of sunrise are definitely coming out. So it's getting into those dawn hours.
Well, I don't want to play ball with this, but I don't want to risk Master Daedrove either. If he's in a what you call it, a pocket dimension, it's not anything that I've got. I mean, I've heard of them.
Yep.
But again, I thought it was sort of a drunken tale of the magic users that they used to brag about when they were in their cups.
I mean, at this point, drunken tales and myths, I'm gonna start believing all of them. You know what I mean?
Apparently.
Hey, I think the Brovins can get us a elemental control orb, or at least they'll know where to get one.
You know, it might be worth asking. Maybe they've got one in their junk drawer. Save us a trip to Daybreak, because otherwise I think we're going back down to the fucking sewers.
Yeah, and I would feel really bad if we destroyed the sewers that we became famous for saving. You know what I mean? I kind of like being able to walk into any bar and just be a hero.
I'm really okay not being known as the adventurers who saved the sewers personally, but I also would really like people to not know my name at all. I was trying to disappear and then I got chosen by a god, so my week hasn't gone according to plan.
No. Well, let's... In the morning, after 10 o'clock, the Brovins will be ready to... They're going to be making us brekkie, and we're going to get a good meal, and we can try and get a lead on that Eco.
Eco. How are you feeling about this, Alanna? You think it's your bounty?
You know, I don't think so, but every time you'll talk about your past adventures, I just get a list of running I've got like at least 57 different questions for you all now.
It's at that point like a very sleepy like 7-year-old like kind of pulls on your pant leg and he's rubbing his eyes.
Where'd you come
We
from?
all jump 3 feet in the air. Shit.
Grandpa says the lady's going through your bag.
Alanna just sighs. Just like, fucking God. And just.
Rowena fully sword in one hand, hammer in the other, and just follows. Like, not even in the range, just like dragging them at her side. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna grab the kid by the hand and just slowly lead them back in. Yeah, we may not want to watch this one. I'll get you back upstairs.
She seemed almost done when I left, but that'd be nice. And just like does the like up.
Yep, and
Aww.
I'll grab her, pick her up, like pat her on the back,
Hit him up. This is the
Sorry.
7-year-old boy.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll pick him up, pat him on the back, and as they go straight back in, I will turn right quickly and drop him off in bed before heading back down.
I think.
Yeah, and as you come in through and you kind of divert, and then the doors open and the two of you are kind of there, he is just like flipping over pages very like quickly and putting them back in the exact order, and it seems like she's already 2/3 through like all of your books and papers.
So, okay. Okay. So Alanna reaches into like her big like cloak pockets and she pulls out like what is an unnecessarily large hammer, like just it doesn't need to be this big. And she's gonna like very quietly like walk up behind Courtney the wizard, and she's gonna kind of just do like over the shoulder down, like right in front of her face, just like kabam, like with the hammer. You know, it's rude to snoop.
You seem to have a lot of information, and I was quickly able to gather it. I didn't actually think you'd know until you got back, and then the young one was sent.
Did
you're
you
right.
miss the part where we did tell Master Lloyd to keep an eye on you? As Rowena just like pulls her sword around and like kind of
Lloyds
puts it under
are
her
very
chin?
honest and very trustworthy, and I knew that he would do that. I didn't think he would have a second to send, so I took a calculated risk.
Yeah, you calculated
Fascinating
wrong.
research. You're going to be really, really happy once you refine that ore a third time. Also, I think we might be able to help each other out. See, this bounty that you have for this rogue earth elemental seems, in the finer detail of the stuff that a lot of people skip over, seems to have actually taken the eco from its old controller before it went on its rage spree at, oh, surprising, the 10-year mark. It seems to always be like clockwork with these things. So if you want to get paid and get your friend back, recommend that one. They were last spotted east of the woods, so the west end of the Troll Hills, a bit closer than other positions might be. You can put that down. It really won't do much.
It'll make me feel better.
Oh, then please go have at it.
Alanna looks at Rowena and just kind of. This is a personality type that I don't excel with.
No, nobody does. This is the type that I used to throw out of the bar on their arse very hard on purpose.
Are you not a fan of intelligent people or those that...
I'm not a fan of bitches.
Ah. Huh. Bitches. Yeah. Yes. I like that.
Tell you what. We'll go
Please.
find your God's damned eco. We'll bring it back. You give us back our friend, and then you fuck back off to wherever you came from and don't ever bother us again. How's that?
Yes.
Also, I think it's only fair, since you've gleaned 2/3 of my friend's knowledge here, that you
That I
share
get
at
the
least
other
2/3. No, that you share at least 2/3 of your information with her.
Oh. that
Yeah,
would
yeah, you should have thought about
be
that first.
much
She's got
further.
another, what, 350 years?
Aye.
Should be plenty of time for you.
This isn't literally all you know, though. That would be appalling for someone of your stature.
Let's make an assumption that it is.
Oh, so
You can share.
I should talk slower then.
Rowena's gonna punch her in the goddamn
Oh, I was
face.
literally about to punch her in the face.
You can
That's
also,
great.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Gonna fucking punch her in the goddamn
Actually, Alana's gonna look and like Alana's gonna rear back and she's gonna watch like Rowena just slowly and she's gonna go after you.
Great. Oh, I'm so mad. That is a 22 to hit.
Just fucking nail her. Square up.
Great.
Boom.
4 damage, not like it matters, but on
Sick.
principle.
Yeah, that immunity takes it down to 0.
Yeah, I'm sure
Uh-huh.
it's not gonna actually do anything, but like it's
I hope that makes you feel better. Would you like one as well?
No, what I would like for you to do is stop running your mouth because it's a great way to make enemies round these parts. And we can help you. We'll get you, you stupid orb. And like, they're going to want their friend back. But here's the thing. Deals only work when people trust each other. And I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, which Alanna just like sizes her up. She goes, is probably pretty far, but that's beside the point.
She like sizes you up too, and like she looks for her piece of paper and then just puts her hands back down.
Alanna
Bit of a
picks
nod.
up or like takes like the handle of the hammer and she like drags it across the table so like all the papers get fucked up and she's like, so we're either going to work together or you can fuck off, but we're not doing this. And also, do not think for a single second I'd be stupid enough to put everything I know in a single fucking notebook. You're daft. She just sort of like indignantly like picks up her shit and shoves it in her
Isn't
backpack.
that a
That-
thing that I've heard?
that
Wizards
actually-
have to keep all their spells together, but you don't have that problem, do you?
No.
That actually was my assumption, and she told me to treat you otherwise. Anyway,
Who's she?
Who's she? As HJ is coming down from the stairs.
Rowena told me to treat all of the information you had
Only
in your
in-
bag.
Only in the example of the trade, you've gotten 2/3 of her information, so now she gets 2/3 of yours.
2/3 of my
yeah.
studies. Okay.
Context clues. It's apparently a thing you're not used to. I understand you've apparently been isolated for a very long time. Welcome to the real world.
I essentially live with 2 paraplegics, so my apologies for not picking up social cues.
Oh, are they 2 kids you kidnapped too?
No, I would never choose to live with these 2. 2/3 of my knowledge, which is vast in comparison. Do you have a topic you would like?
Rowena?
I
So
know
done
very
with this
little.
bitch.
Seems to be in grief. Seems to be well with a hammer. For some reason,
No,
favors
no, no,
her-
no, no.
Oh, you
She's a-
want her to choose. Excellent. Rowena, please choose a topic of insight you'd like me to spill 2/3 of my knowledge about. Or if you want to pick multiple topics, I can. give you
Alchemical
tidbits.
transmutation of natural elements.
By the looks of you, neither of you would understand most of my knowledge towards that. Not because you couldn't, just because you have not learnt the necessary skills. Looking
So start
your
with the
hands.
101
Okay.
and work your way up.
Yes. Everything's connected. There are many elements. There's things like dirt, glass, sand. We transmute them through various means of forces. Yada
Right,
yada
why
yada
don't you
yada.
start
yada.
writing it down in a portable notebook? You'll have some time because we're gonna go get your fucking orb. We'll be back.
Sounds
I assume
fair.
you weren't gonna come along and help or anything.
No.
Yeah, thought as much.
So
HJ?
I'll draft chemical properties, transmutation. Are you particularly interested in those that can be attained by mundane needs such as fire, heat, pressure, all of the things that any person could do, or are you interested in those of magical natures that comes from years of study?
Well, if your knowledge is so vast and expansive compared to ours, why not both?
Fair point. I'll have it ready for you in 24 hours.
Wonderful. Hopefully we'll be back by then if our horses don't just fucking give up the ghost with the way we've been riding them. Excuse us, we've got a breakfast date to get to. Get to writing.
Enjoy. Master Lloyd, a pen and quill? And he like kind of like just one of these like weird look arounds and just starts like digging through stuff and does eventually find like some parchment and some quill and like brings it over. See you later. I'll be right here.
You'd better be.
And then she like pulls out of her pocket like just this gigantic silver coin that has like a gold coin in it and then like another silver coin in it. Just the most bizarre looking piece of silver and gold. It is silver and gold, and just puts it on the table. For you, Lloyd. And he like doesn't really know what to do and like kind of like bites it and is like, yeah, that's real, and just has a bunch of strange ass pictures on it.
Can I roll something to see if I've like ever seen a picture or if I've heard of any of that money?
Because it looks like no money you've ever seen. You're all aware that there is universal coin.
Right.
When the God of the Forge showed up, rare materials just started getting swapped out for these stamped 11 Fates, authenticated, branded God of the Forge
licensed
coins.
Merchandise.
Yeah, like straight up, like, nah, there were too many micro societies. One of her gifts, she came in, she started making coins at her foundry furiously and just threw them through the nether and swapped them out for face value. It's like, hey, if you had whatever the equivalent of 3 copper, boom, now you got 3 copper. This happened ages ago too. So to see not that coinage, like there's 4 coins. This isn't one of them.
Right.
All right.
That'll be exchanged in about the next 4 to 6 hours, if that's okay with you. I'll be here still if it doesn't. And then just dips and starts to write.
Do you all want to head out?
We should stop at the Borovans.
Yeah.
For at least a moment, see if they know anything about an eco, see if they've got some of that. Just, we're already here.
Yeah, I agree.
Touch base for a moment. I can hold anything we need them to until we get back. I don't want to waste any time on getting Master Diodrove back with us, but I don't want to go in unprepared either. Not given the kind of week I've had.
That's valid. As we're like leaving the bar, can Alanna like purposely like catch one of her feet on Courtney's chair leg and just kind of like fuck her chair up a little bit so she messes up what she's writing and she's like, oops.
Yeah, give me a performance.
Yeah, baby. Oh, come on.
Love it.
Wait, hold on. Oh god. Come on. Fuck, god damn it, that's a 12.
It's not as subtle as you would like, but you definitely make the hand gesture like still go, and the arm goes like, that's fine, I can start again. And she like takes that page and like folds it up nicely and puts it to the side. And that's also when you realize she's already 3 pages in.
God, she's the worst. I've heard there's bacon. I want bacon. I hate this. I just want bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go. I heard they're great
Let's
cooks.
just go.
Yeah, and you all scoot out the door, do the rapid camera walk through down to the outskirts of the north side of Aria. It really isn't a far distance, 10-minute walk tops. And you get over there. The strangeness is definitely filling the night air, and it seems like even some of the early wakers are starting to come out and start their days. And you come up to the Broven house, and Mrs. Broven is there. Oh, you're early, but happy to tend to your schedule. Come on in.
We're terribly sorry about this.
No, least we can do.
Come up. That's all.
Then we'll hastily get you situated.
Okay.
Tell us all about it.
We'll do story time the next time we're here.
Happy to. What can we do? Food can be ready in 20.
We may not even have that much time. Two pressing subjects.
Alanna looks devastated. She's just you just see her physically like there's going to be bacon.
You see Rowena do the full like shoulder drop, just like we can 20 minutes.
We can stay
right.
for food.
We can do 20 for food. We're gonna be leaving again. We're gonna need sustenance. Right. Two pressing matters.
Yeah, and just like bangs on the window. Han, get it ready.
Aw.
Sorry. We're terribly sorry about it.
No worries.
So first off, that volcanic rock, the Dusty's belt,
yes, Dusty's belt's made of.
You said you had more of that.
Yeah, we have about a crate of it.
Great, we'll take all of it. How much do you want?
It's yours. Least we could do.
Are you sure?
You got our boy back to us healthy. We still expect him to have plenty of community service or something, but he's healthy. He seems like he's closer to being a man as well and owning up for his actions. So it's a price we can't pay.
You should definitely talk to him about what happened. I think
We're
there might be more.
Letting him rest for now, and
yeah, no, I just mean there might be more to the story. We're still sussing it out too, but great, Alanna, that's all yours. If you need my forage, you're welcome to use it in the meantime.
Thank you. Alanna's gonna.
I'll look for the wheels.
Alanna's gonna like reach into her bag and she's gonna pull out like a little pad of paper and a pen and she's just gonna kind of like look down and start doing something, but like not really like acknowledge it, just kind of like do something.
Cool.
Rowena will kind of follow Mrs. Broven and just be like,
oh yeah, right this
yeah,
way.
no,
We used the wheels for our own cart, but they're really the only ones strong enough for that crate. Oh god, weighs a ton. But yeah, no, please. And like takes you through like the side entrance to their house, which is actually just completely sectioned off. And there's just all sorts of weird knickknacks, home projects, but also like strange goods, like barred off into like cages, trunks here with strange labels on them. And she like finds the cart and like shakes the wheels off of it. And then like goes back outside, leads you around and slaps them onto a crate and then starts getting the other boxes from on top of it off.
Oh no, please let me help with that.
Oh yeah, no, please, I'll happily take it. What else? You said there was 2 requests?
This is maybe a stretch, but we had to ask. You familiar with an eco elemental control or
Yeah, no, we've definitely dealt with them. Well, not actually dealt with them. We can't actually give anything for them, so no one ever sells it to us. They're actually heavily regulated by the gods. They're not supposed to go missing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was afraid of. I was kind of hoping you might just have one lying about in a scrap heap or something.
Oh no! If you were to lose an eco or willingly part with it, there are many fines.
Rowena fully is just like face in hands, like god.
But what
better that you don't know, honestly. What you don't know, you can't be accused of not sharing. So pretend you didn't ask.
But like if somebody was gonna come through with an eco,
where would they be?
I would have to refuse it. We have had some controllers come through and try to peddle them when they're drunk, they're on a hot streak. They think that they, can double up the money real quick, come back and buy it off, like they can pawn it temporarily.
Controllers.
From
Daybreak or
from all sorts. Before we settled here, there are controllers in almost every town. They use the orbs to help direct the elementals towards city planning, infrastructure improvements, things like that. I heard you were able to help the waterways down in Daybreak, and that's usually more of an automated thing, but there are times where you need more guidance, like a fire elemental helping fan a forge in some of the larger smithing communities. That actually requires someone to handle the orb rather than just building them into structure and fencing them in.
Okay, so we're just gonna kind of pretend like we didn't bring this up, but thank you for the information. It is
Absolutely
helpful. One last question / piece of warning.
Yeah.
If a dwarven man comes through, you'll know him. Traveling cloak, lots of tattoos. Don't do business with him again.
I don't recall doing business
You wouldn't,
with...
and that's all right. Just if he comes back, try to wave him off.
Noted. Thank you for the heads up.
You ever seen a cabbage cactus?
I have not heard of them. They're apparently quite juicy. This is as much as I know.
Do you know where they grow?
South?
Southwest.
That would make sense. There isn't much south of us here, but just in general, I think southern parts of the realm.
Okay.
That's something. At least we're getting consistent information.
I think they grow in hot, dry temperatures.
Over like maybe Fallen Scale? Over there?
That would be a great place to start.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Well, if I could, I can't right now. We'll help replace the wheels. Miss Pritchel and I are
No,
Smiths. We can. No, it's
worries.
not. You've done.
Well,
It was a broken cart. If you look at the frame and it's got it's kind of set up like one of those shopping carts that you'll see, except the like thin bands of metal is only like a single T, so anything you put in it's gonna fall unless it's gigantic, and if it's gigantic it's gonna break those thin pins. Like it was a half conceited project, and that's pretty much what she tells you. She's like, no, it really is no trouble.
We'll do something for you the next time we're back. It's not.
You've done more than you've needed.
We really haven't. But that's all right.
I'm happy you see it that way. But yes, no, please take this. Anything else we can do? And then Mr. Broven pops out and he's like, these are on our worst place. So please, if you need to rush, take them with you. And he's got 4 strips of bacon, 2 fried eggs, and just a big old long piece of toast for each of you. It looks like he just cut a baguette down lengthwise into 3 slices and then just threw away the butts. So you all have a 2-foot long piece of toast.
It's a superior kind of toast.
I want this actually.
Rowena gets
now I'm hungry.
A little teary for a second. It's just like, no, I can fix this. And she's just going to take hers and fold it in half to sandwich it and just hand it back to plate. Right, okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna be going again, but we might be back because apparently we're real bad at traveling in an efficient manner, so...
Yeah. Well,
it happens.
We'll be back at least in minimum or maximum 7 days.
Yeah.
We look forward to it. Do you want to take this with you? If you're coming back, we can store it.
Up to you.
You know, I think it makes a lot more sense if I maybe take this back to your forge. You don't mind me borrowing the house for a few days.
You can have it forever. And Rowena literally just reaches into her pocket, pulls out the entire bundle of keys, and just drops it into your hand.
Right, are you sure?
I'm never going fucking back there. There's nothing for me there.
Oh, thank you. That's incredibly generous of you, but
Yeah, just when the guild comes knocking to ask about my dues and arrears, tell them to fuck right off, and that if they can find me, I'll pay them. But good luck.
All right, happy to do that. So I guess I don't know. Are we parting ways?
It's up to you. I'm not gonna ask you to come on whatever the fuck this is.
I think that
At least travel with us back that far. We can drop you off at the house if you need, or if you want to come try to get your elemental, cash in. We'll help you with it.
all right. Why don't I go as far as the house? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I just need a little more time, and I think that something about this refining process. I don't know. I think maybe it even might help you.
Maybe. There's something else I may want to show you, but we should get away from here first.
All right. Yeah, let's head back that way then.
And that's when we fade out of this scene.
Oh wait,
and...
before
What?
we fade out,
Get
Alanna
in
goes
here.
over to her she rips a page off of the pad, and she super sheepishly this tiny pad in her big ass dwarf hand, and she gives it to the mom, and she's drawn them a little sketch of their cottage with the mom and the dad and Dusty in the middle, with a little note that says
Aw.
just so no family should ever be separated. So here you go, just in case. And she just says, "Thank you for breakfast. Also the ore. The ore is probably more important, but there was bacon." And she just sheepishly walks away.
Yeah, and it's as you're walking away that they kind of open it up and just have that cute little moment where they look at each other, and he wipes a small tear away from her eye, and she just puts her head on his chest, and they wave you off, and it's a much more pleasant fade out now. It's just so endearing, and you've got this big old cart now behind you, because it's just a 2.5 by 2.5 by 3 foot tall crate of just ore. This looks like something that came straight out of a mine. It's about half full. So yeah, there is plenty of ore in there, and you know that being able to extend that by twice as much is going to do wonders. So small point of order here, because I know that your time here is limited with us, and we're going to jam pack so much in the next 30 minutes. So we're going to get to going. We're going to be doing some fucking fast fades and some fast forwards, and it's all going to be good. So let's kick it up a notch. Yeah. You fade out from the Broven places. Do you want to stop back at the Kettle Inn?
I feel like we should get that notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back on in. You can't get in your cart. It barely fits on through the door. You can see that Courtney's
We're not gonna take the cart inside. We're gonna take
it inside.
We're gonna take it to the barn and hitch it to to either the donkey or Brutus.
Steve has got this. I believe in Steve.
Yeah,
Steve the donkey.
Yeah, Steve will take the cart so that Alanna
Great.
can ride Brutus the horse.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cadillac Brutus.
The Cadillac of horses.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That gets all geared up, and you want to head back in and grab a journal from
Courtney.
Yeah, she's there. You can see that she's 40, 50 pages into the novel that she's writing for you. She's doing it single-sided though, because the ink seems to bleed through a bit. Yes.
We're going to need this bit early.
This unfinished book.
Yes. I just want you to know, I don't not like a lot of people, but I've never liked not liked someone the way that I don't like you. You are just the fucking worst. I just there's something about your face. It's so punchable.
I believe the word is...
Just give me the book and shut your mouth. We'll come back with your fucking... don't speak. I'm taking... And she just like... hand notebook just slides it across the table. There's like ink and shit. She's like, I don't even care. Honestly, I don't care what's in this. I'm just taking it. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Do you want the other?
No.
She'll just put the quill down and cross her hands.
And
HJ pipes up.
Just
No.
to be a dick, just breaks the quill.
Half now, half later. Keep writing.
No, sorry, I broke the quill.
She just waves her hand and the quill comes back to her fully formed.
Fine. And
would you like it all now?
Well, yeah, if you've got it. Do you have like a magic spell or something? What are you even doing?
Yes.
Well, then what? God damn it, I hate you so much.
It is a limited resource and would prefer not to have it, but as a trust issue, if you so desire, it can be done. And like while she's talking, you see that the entire bottom, like half of her body from like mid-arm down is just moving like 4 times as fast. And for about the next minute, she is just fervorously cranking out pages. And in like the last like 6 seconds, you can actually see her reach in, pull out like a piece of leather, wrap it and like bind it and then put it there. And then just like kind of exhaust herself a little bit as she just starts wheezing. You can insert the other pages at your will.
Oh, is your spell a limited resource? Much like the children that you've been kidnapped. Oh, look at Rowena, are you so sad for her? I'm very sad.
Rowena's just like leaning in the window like, oh yeah, that's really a shame that you're...
Tragic that.
Yeah, you could have mentioned that you had this kind of power like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
when we were trying to get our friend back.
Oh, you seem in such a rush and you don't seem to care about consequences. The timeline is now 4 days because I've just alerted myself.
You know, if I cared about consequences, I've done a lot of things differently in my life, but I'm already in the worst timeline, so fuck off.
I wish I could see you all again. But I've agreed. Won't happen. I'll be here.
God's damn right.
Gods be damned.
Alanna.
Why does everybody keep saying that?
As they're walking out the door, Alanna just turns around and is like all the way out the door for no reason.
Just like a little princess wave with just the fingers as you leave. Doors shut, like hard cut, sun's up, clouds have parted, everyone's on their mounts. We're like 2-3 hours west of town again on this road that you're getting real tired of fucking going up and down. This is...
Our poor horses are just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Maybe they like
you're just like, what? No, they all seem a bit sassy to it. But one of the things that did come with the very hastened book is a page that was slapped on the outside was also a very hastily drawn map and a big old X where they think the elementals would be. It's about halfway to the house, but you are going to have to make a small detour north of the road. So if you want to try and knock this elemental scourge out of the way before headed, then you can pardon.
If it's right there, why not?
Yeah, we're going to take things in order because then we can split if we need to.
Got it. How convenient.
Weird, yeah,
I'm sure that works. Random, I rolled for it. Where are my dice?
So weird.
At this point, I realize I haven't even rolled a die yet.
We've barely rolled any dice this session. We've been too busy trying to punch our new friend Courtney.
It's fine. Y'all talk purdy. But yeah, you definitely make your way, and it is kind of that area between where you first saw the starfall, and it is kind of just north of where Caecilian disappeared, and it is kind of like the the southwestern end of the Troll Hills, as you would see on the map. And as you approach, it's through some tall grasses here and there. You're keeping out of the woods because fuck that place. But it's quite easy to navigate the horses, and at some point you do see, seemingly out of nowhere, a nice leveled hiking trail essentially just starts up and rolls very nicely up and through the hills, and it seems fresh. Like as soon as you touch, there's like that poof of powder almost. And going back and consulting the contract, you kind of skim over real quick, and it was an earth elemental that you're after. It went rogue. It attacked its orb controller, took the orb, and rolled off through the woods that it was maintaining trails on. And that was the last scene of it. It's reportedly attacked people in both the woods as well as the hills when people have gone after it, and that is why the adventurer's bounty was placed, is to deem the woods safe again after this has happened.
I'll try to follow the freshest trails.
Yep.
Yeah. On horseback or via foot?
Jules will definitely get down on foot.
I think on foot. Honestly, I think we leave the horses, especially because Steve has the oar.
Yeah.
So I think we leave the horses with kind of the loose tie of like they're not going to immediately go anywhere, but if things got really bad, they could break and run.
Break it and run.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Rhoda will kind of just like look at Faria and be like, if things get bad, just go home. I don't know if you understand me. I hope after like 10 years you kind of get the sense of what I'm saying. Yeah, if things get bad, just take them home. Yeah.
2 kicks of one of the back legs.
Great. Reach into a pocket and find like a piece of vegetable or a sugar cube or whatever.
Yeah, that lip just goes straight up.
Yeah. Aww, that's a good point. And then I think we're gonna head on foot. Quickly but carefully.
Yep.
Sure thing. Yeah, you make your way through this freshly made trail. It's an easy hike essentially for you. You look around you, there's definitely some overgrown vegetation here and there. You see rough patches of rocks, and where like a rock should be, it's been pounded flat like through a boulder. And it's interesting seeing freshly made trails in an area that clearly doesn't need a trail. There's not much around here. Like you don't need through passes. It's just a strange thing that's happening. And as you kind of wind through your first couple of hills, you come up to the top of one of them. And down below, you can see chunks of an elemental. It looks like a larger figure has split off into like 3 smaller versions, and they're carrying like logs and dragging them together. And go ahead and each give me an intelligence. And if you have either a history or a religion even, you can go ahead and add that.
10.
10? Great.
3.
Oh. That's an 8.
Great. You all come up over the edge and you look down on it and you're like, they're not building something random. This looks like a fucking art piece. And like the things that they're dragging is the last couple of pieces they need to form this beautiful sculpture. It stands like 12 feet tall. It's all of these like shapes and like rounded edges in on of itself, and it like reaches out and is like starting to build almost another statue from what looks like the idea of a hand. It's very like modern, expressionistic, and just you look on it and you're like, this is kind of beautiful. And like you see the last couple of pieces going in, and like they gather them up, and they all just like roll across it to like shape it into these like last finely sewn pieces. And there's like a moss covered rock guy, there's a claggy looking rock guy, as well as a just like muddy looking rock guy, and they kind of just go in turns in this right pattern to like finish off these logs and turn them into like nice sanded down pieces, and then it just slides right on into place to complete a very modern art piece. You'd call it slightly cubist.
I don't know about you, but I feel like something bad's gonna come out of that for some reason. I don't trust random art pieces in forests.
I'm just gonna be honest, every single time I've gotten myself involved with an artist, it's ended very poorly, so this is not giving me good vibes at the moment.
Well, like, I mean, it's nice to look at. Maybe it's like
very beautiful, and I feel like I'm gonna have to destroy it, which makes me feel more bad.
Oh yeah, the orb is probably inside of it, or you know, close to it at least. Hey, should we go ask those things?
I mean,
Yeah,
ask them
Jules, why don't
nicely.
you go talk to them?
Yeah, sure.
Rowena
Okay.
just pulls out her shield and her sword.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
look,
gonna pick up the
I
hammer.
got this. Hey, you guys know where an orb is?
You can see the torso part of like these like small humanoid like figures. They're just like where a muscle should be is kind of just a rock being held together by
of
some sort of
course,
force. And the torso that doesn't really have a head or a neck on it kind of just flips 180 degrees in your way. And you can just see like little dots that resemble eyes on them. It's a bit strange. And then they kind of just like all look at each other too. And they just start like clomping towards you.
Like,
In like a threatening way? Just like they're coming to say hi.
like,
Yeah,
like-
there we go.
Like battle music way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead
like
and roll for initiative.
This is why you don't trust abstract expressionists. Just saying.
that's what I've been saying for many years of my life.
but, like, they haven't attacked us yet.
Oh my god, my initiative is so sad, but I
15.
rolled so good.
I also need
19.
to roll initiative for them.
I mean, you don't have to. They could just not go. That'd be
Yeah,
fine.
maybe they just don't go. Maybe they just
Oh.
give us the orb and we all go home.
That's
Could
good
have had this
D&D.
typed up already.
No, why would we pre-prep? That's not the Torpid Gaming Network way.
It's true. Okay, so my problem is I work on Tuesdays, and on the bus ride home, I get so many ideas for this goddamn game that I have to change everything I've done the last week.
And now you guys know why Deadlands went for like 3 episodes longer than we intended it to.
We like to play games because we like each other. We like having new friends coming in to play with us. It's very exciting.
Yeah, surprise, Katie, you're just a permanent cast member now.
Yes!
Surprise
Not even mad.
Gotcha.
casting. Anyone get above a 15?
I got a 19.
And I got a 15.
Right. What did you get, Alanna?
Oh, sorry, I got a 10.
We start off with Rowena. As far as body language goes, they seem hostile. You have the high ground, and they're about 45 feet away and clomping their way up towards you. And they seem to just be like Bart swinging their arms from The Simpsons as like, oh, you're going to walk into my fists. Watch out.
Cool. Great. About how far away from me are they?
45 feet.
Dag nabbit. All right. Well. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's just make this weird. I would like to, if you'll let me do this maybe as a, hang on, let me read this really quick. Because then I don't have to ask you. I could just like understand what my shit does.
I could just interpret the rules.
Yeah, I could just read the actual thing and then I would know. Cool, great. I'm not taking any chances here. I am going to bonus action reach into my pocket, pull out a fucking chocolate chip cookie and shove it in my mouth
The special
Beautiful.
cookies.
and start chewing as I take the my movement and my action to dash up to these things.
Sure thing. That gives you 60 feet of movement. So if you want to be straight into combat with them,
yeah, I'm just gonna run right up into them. I've got my sword and my shield up, and then since I don't trust how this is gonna go, I'm just gonna go ahead and action surge so that as I run up to them, I can go ahead and take an attack.
Do it. Do you want the mossy one, the muddy one, or the claggy one?
Let's take the claggy one.
I really like the
Just
word claggy.
for
I had to
fun.
throw it in there.
Yeah, it's a good word, so I'm just gonna go with that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and swing on
Get in there.
that guy. That is a math. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Cool. I can't read that die, so we're gonna roll one that I can read. For 9 damage.
9 damage. Great. You definitely strike clean onto this one, and like a big old chunk of like stone and rock comes off of it. And at the same time, the other two also have a tiny chip fling off of them when you hit it. So, it's a bit weird, but they seem to be an entity.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Jules.
Cool.
Yeah, Rowena runs on up very fast, as well as you're like, oh man, she must have spent all of her energy, and you're like, nope, big old haymaker of a sword swing drops down. You're like, she's getting faster.
And did it seem like that the full damage of this sword swing made it into this craggy thing?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that definitely sank home into the claggy one.
Great. 40 feet of movement, just straight claws bared, key point, 3 attack. Let's go. And that's a 15, a 19, and a 21.
Those all hit.
Okay.
Which one do you want to be attacking, or would you like to resolve each attack separately?
Nope. I'm going all 3 on the. I'm gonna hit the going on the craggy one. If it dies before all my attacks are done, then I will be relocating. First one.
Tell me the damage one at a time. Then
first one, 7 slashing maximum.
Hells yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, similar thing. You lay in true. Your claws go deep into this. This rock seems softer than you anticipated. Probably part of its claggy nature. But yeah, you take a whole big old chunk, and you can like swipe out, and in the same direction, like 2 more small chips shoot off of the other 2.
And next swipe, 4 slashing damage.
That is enough to take this one and to actually make it crumble, as the other 2 you can kind of see get smaller. It's almost like the inside just collapsed inside like their chest, and they all just condensed a little bit.
Look, we're kind of on a deadline, so if you just give us the orb, maybe we'll let you move. Maybe we won't like kill you. And that's going to be 7 more slashing on the mossy one.
Mossy one, great.
I'm rolling pretty nice right now, guys.
Yeah, you're fucking. This is all fire as far as I'm concerned.
You have stolen my kill 3 out of 4 episodes where we've gotten into combat.
It's not lost on me.
Yeah, no, I'm literally tallying damage behind the curtain, y'all. I am tallying damage as I edit the podcast, and it's very funny how much damage I do and how many times I have not gotten the kill shot.
You're just coming through with the most assists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a valuable
Biggest assist
stat.
medal.
Yeah, see if I continue assisting. No, that's not true. Rowena gives no fucks. She just wants to be gone.
And the claggy one is down. That brings us up to the mossy one. You just sunk your
7
fist
slashing
straight
to mossy.
into.
Yep.
Yeah, it took it. It did not like it. And it's gonna go ahead and just try and like clap back at you and just try and squish you with its little fists.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
And
so cute.
that is gonna be a 14 to hit.
Yep, that just hits me.
Yeah. I like the one on my die is just super fucked up, and I was like, I can't roll a 70. Like, what is this? That is going to be a very strong pinching feeling as 2 rocks come clapping on your arm that's like being pulled back, and you're going to be taking 7 points of damage as that is just
Ow, actually.
Real twit.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt a
Wait
lot.
a second. Hang on a second.
Do you have a
I am within 5
reaction?
feet of you.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen because as it tries to clap in on him, I'm gonna slide in there and throw my shield between them, and he's gonna not take any damage because I rolled a 6.
So he gets +6 to AC or -6?
I
reduced?
can reduce the damage the target takes by a D10 +2 to a minimum of
Ooh,
0,
Let's go.
and I rolled 6, so he
So
takes
that's
no damage.
8 damage, yeah, of a damage reduction. So
Oh, because with the +2, you didn't put in the +2. I'm like, no, 7 - 6 is 1, but 6
No.
+2. There we
Sorry.
go. Figured out the math.
Sorry,
Boom.
I said it badly. There's been a lot of math tonight. This is the most
Yeah.
math I've done in like years, just in the last 2 days. So yeah, no, he takes no fucking damage as I just like bop this bitch with my shield.
Yeah, you're kind of able to just insert shield, put his arm down, and then it just kind of claps on your shield for a real loud bang. And that's going to bring up Alanna. You've seen the claggy one fall apart. You've seen random chips fly off the other two as one took damage, and then when the Moss Man took one to the face, Muddy just shot off some stuff off the backside.
Alana's gonna look at her two companions and she's going to say, you might want to step back for this. I don't usually do this, but fuck it. So Alanna pulls out 2 hammers, and I have visual aids for this because it's important. Okay,
But
so
also
Alanna pulls out-
describe it in words as much as possible for the podcast. But please
Yes.
show us.
So
Great.
Alanna pulls out a chasing hammer, which if you've never seen has like a very like flat front on it. And then she also pulls out a riveting hammer, which has like a pointy little front. All right.
love it.
And she's got one in one hand and one in the other. Correct.
Yeah,
Precisely like that. So she pulls them out and she starts sort of like spinning them around like really, really fast. And she like spins them, and then she like smashes them together over her head. So the riveting hammer hits the chasing hammer, and a fucking bolt of lightning is gonna come down from the sky.
Go.
And Alanna is gonna cast Thunder Wave. And so
Dope.
the doodles need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Great. I will also say
we also
if
need
your
to do that?
compatriots don't want to make a Constitution saving throw, since you warned them and they understand what you're saying, if you guys want to go prone, I'll let you automatically succeed.
Oh, let us basically just hit the ground?
Yeah, literally hear the
I'll hit the
call,
deck.
hit the ground,
I'll hit the deck.
and so that way this wave can go over the top of you. She is doing it overhead.
I'm gonna risk the con save.
Great.
I'm hitting the deck. I can't afford to be killed like this.
You took no damage from the last attack, remember.
I don't care.
Great.
No. I have additives to my con, and I'm gonna risk it because I don't want to be prone.
I have 160 feet of movement. I can sacrifice half of that.
That's valid, my monk friend.
Monk cat things.
Yeah.
That is going to be 2 fails, unless for some reason your DC is 4.
No.
Cool. So
Okay.
then the 2 also doesn't save.
Okay. Nope.
I'm very much
very sorry about that.
Mhm.
Okay, so then that's gonna be. Here we go. That's gonna be 5. 5. Nope, just kidding. Is it? Yeah. 5 damage for both of them.
5 damage for both of them. And remind me, is this one of the ones that does bonus damage to constructs, or is that shatter?
I think that's shatter.
That is
I think
shatter.
that is shatter as well.
And they're
Yeah.
also pushed 10 feet back.
Dope. And it is a thunderous boom, audible out to 300 feet.
And
So
it
yeah,
looks really cool.
Just say,
God
I
damn
passed, so I take 2 damage, but it seems like it affects me not at all as I finish swallowing my cookie.
yep.
I want some of that cookie.
Oh,
Give me
forgot
some
you
of
were
that
eating
cookie.
You're just fucking casually
Oh.
eating a cookie and sword fighting at the same time.
100.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the shape of my shield that enhances it. Yeah, they get pushed 10 feet back, and they're definitely like crumbling and falling apart at this phase, and they kind of just do that double check and like look at each other and like look back, and then the muddy one just comes bounding forward and is gonna like leap up and try to attack Rowena.
Oh, for fuck's sake, just give us the orb. This isn't gonna end well.
Is going to roll a natural 1 and just like fall short and just kind of like plop right in front of you, and then like just stand himself back up and just...
Alanna points and laughs.
And that brings up Rowena. There is a muddy one in front of you, and the mossy one looks almost in pieces about 10 feet behind it.
I mean, I look at the muddy one and I'm just like, you know, you could have just stayed back and made me spend more of my movement, but apparently you just want to die. I didn't think it was going to be like that. And I swing on him.
Get that swing.
Oh god, that's so much. It's like a 22 or something like that.
That hits. Fighter things.
It was a 17 on the die plus whatever my modifier is.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that's gonna be 7 damage.
That is enough to just sink on through this muddy one. You realize it's mostly clay on the inside. This one splits in half, and the mossy one just kind of pivots up just a little bit, and the entire center portion of it just collapses in on itself, and the limbs kind of like fall apart and just roll away into rocks. And that brings us out of combat, as now there are just clay, rocks, and like crumbled stone kind of everywhere. And then there's just this nice, big, elegant, modern cubist statue reaching out of itself and then forming a smaller little statue. And you can see it's like a 3-fingered like hand that seems to be building the other one. And on one of where its nails should be, you see polished stone on one, polished stone on the other, and then just the eco orb slotted in for the middle finger.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up and use like my sword, my shield, whatever, to kind of like pry that thing out.
Yeah, it was snugged in there quite nicely. It takes you a minute or two, and you're like, oh, the craftsmanship on this is impeccable. And
probably switch from my short sword, my hammer, to try to do as little damage as possible.
Alanna just like reaches back and like wordlessly like hands you a crowbar.
Yeah, I'll use the crowbar and my hammer. But I will put my hammer, like I'll start with it in my right hand and then like shake my head and switch it to my left hand, and you guys will notice that suddenly it does a more effective job but less damage to the actual statue as I pull this thing out.
Yeah, it pops out super cleanly. You cannot see a sign of entry for like where the crowbar actually got in. And it just pops on out of this idea of a finger tip and the nail popping out. And yeah, you've got in your hand probably about a 7-inch ball that's got like stripes going along the axis of it, of just like a darker material. And you can kind of like click in on the intersections of it. They're just like little squares and things like that. And it seems to do something, but you got it.
It's like the ultimate fidget spinner.
Alanna, do you want to maybe, I don't know, make a drawing, take some schematics on this before we have to go give it to the crazy bitch?
That's not a bad idea. I'll start furiously notes and drawings and stuff.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I really don't want to give it to her, but
Do you think it's a good idea?
It's not a good idea, but I don't know how else we're gonna get Cillian back. And to be perfectly honest, I want to punch her into the face until she stops moving, but I'm gonna have more fun with that if Cass is here to help.
Yeah, I mean, I think as like Alanna like completes this drawing, she's gonna like, I think she's just gonna kind of be like, yeah, you need to do what you need to do to get your friend back. I can't ask you not to do that, you know. So, well, you've got your orb. I've got my ore. This it?
Rowena's gonna kind of look at Jules real quick and then like very She's gonna kind of shrug at him a little bit and like almost apologetically, and then very much kind of close her back to him as she turns to Alanna and just be like, I've got something else I want to show you, but you gotta promise me that no one else is ever gonna know you saw it.
Of course. What is it?
Reach under her like cuirass and pull out a little notebook.
Right.
And she's gonna flip it open and show it to you, and inside it is just covered in this like really strange archaic runic script. That is all marked up on the sides with like somebody else's like notes and handwriting and stuff.
What is this?
I don't know, but I think it got my husband killed.
Well, I can take a look if you like.
I don't think you should keep it on you if you're gonna stay near Bastelin, but if you want to take some notes, let me know if you ever figure it out.
Of course.
I will
Keep
let
it with
you.
my life.
I will let you copy a couple
Sure.
of pages.
Oh, and while
Essentially.
Alanna's doing that, she's gonna say, "Oh, you mentioned something about a dwarf, didn't you, earlier? With the fancy cape.
Yeah, fancy cape and a lot of tattoos.
You want to?" And Alanna kind of like she's like sketching, and she kind of like looks up and she says, "You want to be careful with the ones with tattoos. A dwarf with tattoos, it's not a good thing. It's sort of a thing with my people, and I need you to know that that's the type of fella you might not want to mix yourselves up with. I don't know him, I don't know anything about him, but I can tell you, a dwarf with tattoos, you got to watch out for that type." Just kind of goes back to sketching. Finishes.
Rowena.
She's a very quick sketcher.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get through those, and a couple of things you notice at the end when you kind of like just do a double check. On the inside of the front cover and on the inside of the back cover, there are two symbols you recognize.
Okay.
On the front cover, the inside you know as earth, and on the back side you know as stone. And, the backside front was earth, the backside was fire.
Okay.
And you know those as the ancient Dwarven runes
Okay.
that started the language. Like, Dwarven runes are all based around like 5 runes,
Okay.
and you've seen them in like dwarf sites as like when you were a child, and they got pointed out to you, and you're like, earth, fire.
Yeah, I'll convey that to Rowena. I know these. Earth, fire.
Dwarven?
It looks like it.
That's alright. Something at least, I guess. Right, well, deed to the house is up in the loft under the mattress. There's a sort of hidden floorboard. If anybody asks you, just show them that and tell them it's yours now.
Right.
You don't have to stay there. If it's helpful.
Oh, it will be. I promise you that. And if you ever find yourself passing this way, I mean, I'd say stop on by, but it's your house. You can come over whenever you like.
Yeah. If anybody stops there asking about me, tell them you don't know where I went.
Of course.
Right.
And Alanna turns to Jewel and she says, "And if I can ever be of service to you in any way, you know where to find me."
Yeah, just make sure you got some more of that exploding corn on hand next time we come through.
I'll work on perfecting it. How about that?
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's then you're all able to kind of mount up and follow the trail back a bit, and you cut through the tall grass the way you came back to the road, and you have your nice chatter about snacks and what the future might hold, and the road splits and the camera stays. 2 of you off to one side back to Aria, another back towards the direction of Bastelin. And the camera zooms in on just this mode of light that had remained and pops on through into just this astoundingly infinite darkness that has just points of light everywhere. And we see Could be upside down, could be right side up. Caecilian Diadrove opening his eyes to an upside down from his orientation halfling about 6 inches away from his face, both suspended perfectly still. And this halfling with bright eyes. Hi, I'm Gary. And we fade out.